Hey guys, Greenbird here. I hope everyone is doing awesome. Hope you're living the life you chose that you deserve. Today is going to be a quick flint knapping video. I got a question from a viewer, Joanne. I'm sorry I don't remember your last name, but it was on one of my videos that was talking about how to thin, how to build platforms to run down ridges and so forth, and how to thin. And she had left me a comment that she would like to see the process on a raw core, is the way she worded it. I assume she meant a raw nodule. Joanne, if you're watching this, a core typically refers to like a blade core, which is a nodule that's been reduced into sort of a flat top and a cone shape going down. And what will happen is you'll strike those edges and it'll pop off a blade, like a long, just a natural blade, just down and dirty, and it'll leave a delta, a giant long delta that you can use. It's a ridge that you can use to hit it with a rock again, drive another flake, and you do that until your core disappears. I think what you might have meant was a nodule, which I have right here. This is how it comes straight out of the ground. This is This is a material from Texas. It's raw. I've never worked it before to the best of my knowledge, unless I've worked it and haven't realized it. So I'm going to attempt to do that same reduction process on this. I don't know what it's going to look like on the inside. I can tell it's pretty grainy right here. So we'll see. It might not be perfect, but it might give you an idea of how you take away that core. And I actually did a video on another piece of Texas chert. I don't know if that will be posted before this video or after the video. Where I take a big piece, and unfortunately it shrinks down quite a bit on me, but it'll show you how you get rid of that Cortex. And if this doesn't work, I do have some obsidian. They're not necessarily nodules, because obsidian usually comes in like a flow, but it does have Cortex on the outside of at least 2 sides, usually 3 sides. Sometimes you can get little like round nodules that have been tumbling, and they have Cortex around the entire outside. I guess it's probably technically not really Cortex. It's more like just being roughed up from nature. I guess, I don't know, maybe it is Cortex. It does kind of, I'd have to look up the process to see if it can scientifically qualify as Cortex. But anyway, let's get back to this, and let's see what happens. So just like in that other video, I'm going to try and find a natural, well, I have a natural platform right here, but let's say I didn't, because that's really what your question was. So I would take, in this case, probably a hammerstone, see if I can just take off a piece. There we go. A little bit more than I wanted to take off, and this piece really so far doesn't seem quite as nasty as I thought it was going to be, so let's see what happens. Would have been nice to take out a little bit less than this giant chunk, but we'll see. And I'm going to save this, see if I can maybe peel a little bit more of it off, and I'll tumble that. So, where's my grinder? I could probably continue using either this hammerstone or another one, a smaller one. This is kind of a big hammerstone for this. It's that same process as on that video. What I did was I used, let's see if I can get that to go back together. Well, part of it fell off, but you can see I took that edge. First strike I hit a little bit low, which is why it crumbled. The second time I came up a little bit higher, and it drove this flake right off. And now I created a little ridge right there. There's my platform, and you can see the ridge comes straight down. Camera has super glare on it, so I can't really see what this is picking up, and I'm hoping that it's picking up what it needs to. Hopefully the glare is just on the screen and not what you're seeing. So same thing, I'll take that smile. I think I probably referred to it as a smile in that last video. I usually do. try and drive a flake and see how much of this Cortex I can drive off. And we're slowly flattening this down. Oh, that was kind of a little baby flake. It's a bad strike. If you watch a lot of my videos, you'll see that I normally use copper boppers. I'm trying to get a little bit more abo. If this gives me a hard time, then I might switch to a copper bopper just for the sake of the video. But I think we can recover from that. Get it nice and ground. When I grind it, what I'm doing is I'm strengthening that platform. So see all this stuff that's coming off? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. There's all kinds of little gritty stuff coming off. It shouldn't be sharp. You should be able to run your fingers across it really easily. And that's strengthening it. That's taking away all the weak stuff so that when I hit it, instead of just crumbling, it's going to drive the force into the stone and down whatever ridge I choose to take, whether this ridge or this ridge. And I'm going to take this ridge, which is kind of a funny ridge. I'm going to have to hit it a little bit to the side. I'm going to hit it a little high. Oh, I hit it too low. That's all right, though. At least we got a flake and it didn't crush. There we go. That's what I wanted to do the first time. So other than that little step fracture there that I created, that's not bad. And I'll save this flake. There's probably a little bird point in there. Didn't get anything that time. Okay, it's getting a little bit of crushing, so I'm going to kind of get away from that spot. So I'm going to flip it over, is what I just did. So I'm going to flip this over so the Cortex is on the bottom, and I'm just going to try and take off a little bit just to give me something to work with. It's not going to be pretty, but gotta get rid of that Cortex somehow. There we go. So again, I lost a little bit. I'm going to save that for tumbling as well. But look at the nice platform I set myself up with to take the Cortex off the bottom. So that's really what you're going to do all the way around this rock until you get it kind of flat, bifacial, and then you're just going to do what I did in that video that you watched. Keep making smiles. That rock started off just like this. I think that was, I don't know, I don't think it was Georgia. I think that was Novaculite in that video, so it probably didn't start off with a lot of Cortex on it because Novaculite usually comes cleaned, so it doesn't come to me straight out of the ground with the Cortex on the outside. It gets sort of cleaned, but it's still a big, clunky, square and weird shaped rock. No different. It just doesn't have the Cortex on it. There we go. Kind of junky on the inside there. I don't know if that's the stone or me. Probably a little bit of both. But there's the flake that I took off. The rest of it fell apart, but I'm going to save this too because there's probably a little bird point in there as well. Now if I wanted to, I could either take this platform here and try and run that ridge, flatten that out a little bit, or if I want to keep trying to get the Cortex, I could lower this a little bit, lower this edge down. So I had a platform, flip it over, cut it under. I could keep zigzagging over on this corner, which I think for this next strike is what I'm going to do. Maybe I can drive something straight down this way. Nope. So that was a fail. I got that big step right there. But the stone is still pretty big, so we've got plenty of time. Oh yeah, getting a lot of chatter in here. But it could be me, I could be just not hitting high enough on the platform. Or taking crappy platforms. Let's just get this cleaned up and see what wants to stay with the rock and what doesn't. And I am going to switch over to copper right now. Just because I'm not too familiar with hammerstones. I mean, I've used them before, hammerstones and bone and stone, and I'm trying to get more used to it, but I figure, yeah, see how much better that flake was? Most of it fell off, but you can see there's more Cortex gone. Get rid of that chatter. That was most likely me, just not hitting a good strike. But that's alright, the more I practice, the more I'll get it. Meantime, we'll just go ahead and keep using copper. Let's think about the shape of this a little bit. I think I'm going to use this as my top. There we go. A little bit more Cortex. And took a thinning flake, and I'm going to save this. There's a birdie in there, but I'm also going to I'll probably tumble that. But you can see we're starting to flatten this rock out, right? And it's got a long ways to go, but we're going to keep doing the same thing we always do. We're going to use those ridges right there, flatten it out little by little until we get something similar to what you saw me start with in the video that you were watching about tips for thinning. This video will probably be posted before the other videos, because the other videos I'm going to have to edit a little bit. This one I think I'm just going to post as it is, because it is a response to a question. So what I was doing there is I was just hitting those low spots, those smiles. Now I'm going to come across on the other side. This one's almost a little bit too low. I wouldn't recommend that. But I'm going to tip the stone a little bit. I'm going to take it anyway and hope for the best. Yep, see, I got some crushing. There we go. Decent thinning flake. This round part here, though, is being a little bit stubborn. I didn't really set myself up very good, did I? That's okay. You live and learn. Yep. No, that's not going to happen. Sometimes you can pressure flake those little steps off. It's just got a crack kind of going in there, and if I hit it and try and drive that off from another direction, it could cause an early termination because there's already a crack started. So I don't really like that. There we go. All you need to do is get a little bit of a start to start that zigzag. I don't know if I've done a video on zigzagging or not, but I can. There we go. Another big piece of Cortex right off the side. Now the rock is shrinking, of course, but it always does when you're going straight from a nodule. That's why, like, you know, I guess this wouldn't really, this could be a spall, I suppose, but usually a spall is like one strike that's been cleaned up a little bit. Ugh. Getting lots of chatter on this. That could be a little micro blade. Well, it's not so micro, but it's sharp. You could use that as a blade. See if we get some of that yucky stuff off there. See how ugly that bottom is? See if we can clean that up a little bit. Hit it high. Whoops, that was not high. That was not high. There we go. Ooh, there's a lot of nice pieces here. Again, there's a ridge right there. I'm going to try and take that ridge, flatten this out. Again, this is just a raw rock that someone sent me harvested right from the ground. I don't think it was heat treated or anything, so I don't know if this chattery stuff is the rock or if it's my knapping. But regardless, you can see the process that we're taking to reduce this. And maybe I'll do another video on a piece of that obsidian too, so you can kind of see a little bit better results. Look how flat we're getting. Super ugly, I know. This is a rock that I've had in my collection for a while because I knew it was going to be kind of a beast to work. And it's actually a little bit better to work than I had expected it to be. But you can see, like, I know I've got some chatter in there, but you can see where there's like some cracks going in there. Even chatter alone, you can still see there's some cracks in there. But we're still going to get a point out of it. If I get more of this stuff, maybe I'll get better at it. Okay, we have a very flat edge there, so I think I'm just going to zigzag that since we want to get rid of that Cortex anyway. Got a decent start right here, actually. Let's try and take one more flake first. Maybe a couple. Maybe we'll keep flaking. I mean, if you can flake, that's more desirable than zigzagging. But if you don't have a platform, then that's why you zigzag. Gives you that platform. Ooh, lost a piece of it there. Yeah, this stuff is kind of brittle and cracks easy. So I know what you're thinking. This doesn't look nearly as good as that one on the video, and you're right. But this is all I have for material, so hopefully this at least shows you the process. For getting the bifaces in that starting position, so to speak. All right, let's. Yeah. Still hunting for those low spots. Taking them any chance I get. Oh, broke it in half. So you see we got kind of thin. We were getting towards the biface, and then I broke the tip off. Oh, actually I'm gonna tumble that. Yeah, look in there. Look, you can see those cracks in the layers. So, while some of it was definitely me, I think I have a couple of excuses. But anyway, Joanne, that is how you take something that comes straight out of the ground. So yeah, there we go. See that where that crack was? I hit that, and it popped right off. And look, more cracks underneath it. More cracks inside there. Yeah, whoever sent this to me, if you're out there listening, I know who this is. Super appreciative of this rock, so I know I'm kind of bad-mouthing it a little bit, but you can't tell. Until you crack into it, you can't tell. That's why most of the rock that you buy, Joanne, is not in nodule form. It's in spall form, because people like to make sure that what they're selling is of high quality, and usually that's the only way to know. Is to crack into it, spall it open, take some flakes off of it. But it still comes all chunky and big like that, even if it's been broken into. There's still a point in here. Yeah, it just keeps cracking layer after layer after layer. And some of the cracks go like they dip in and under. Those are kind of hard to deal with. Oh, we'll still get a point out of it, I think, I hope. Oh, my pressure flake was starting to crack. Time for a new one. Looking for those same low spots that I would be looking for with percussion. I'm just using pressure instead. because that's about where we are in the process. I could use indirect percussion right here. Maybe I should. A little too heavy. Just giving those straight up and down strikes because I'm trying to take that high spot that's rolled over, right, and come straight down on it so that it takes that roll out, which will raise up that platform, give me something better to hit, but not really succeeding on that. There we go, it worked a little bit. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, see, there. It just crumbles and crunches and crumbles the more you get into it. Keep trying to go through that layer by layer to try and thin it out, but this rock is just not going to cooperate. So, anyway, it's actually a good example. I hope that answered your question. Yeah, some of that might be me, I guess. I might be getting short terminations. But the rock is very brittle and flaky. So I think I'm just going to call it quits here and tumble this. I don't want to make this a long video. I just wanted to try my best to answer your question. And I wish I had some better material to do it with, but hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't, just go ahead and post on this video too and let me know, and I'll do my best. So anyway, hope everyone's having an awesome day. Hope you're living the life you chose, the day you deserve. Love you all. See you later.